Hi guys, and welcome back to month 3, Embodying the Divine Harmony. Week 3, Stepping into Leadership and Divine Alignment. So today, and I've just made some notes again, I'm going to be doing a teaching all about using balanced energy to step into authentic leadership. Okay, so this is about being in the energy of balance and being authentic in regards to leadership. So, Isis. True leadership does not begin with dominance, it begins with devotion. The world is known power wielded through force, manipulation, and fear. But you, priestess, seeker, initiate, you are here to birth something else, leadership which is rooted in soul alignment. So, authentic leadership is about what is aligned with here, with your soul, and being devoted to whatever that is. Isis teaches the art of creation, of calling forth life from the unseen, of weaving magic into the mundane. Leadership from the divine feminine is not about being soft or yielding alone. It is fierce love. It is intuition, but with direction. It is healing that actually activates you. The feminine leads by embodiment, through presence, not performance, through radiance, not resistance, through heart, not hierarchy. To lead like a goddess is to remember your sacredness first and foremost. To become the mirror through which others see what is possible for them. But embodiment alone is not enough, you must act. And for that's when Anubis comes through. Okay, so basically, if you want to use balanced energy and step into authentic leadership, what Isis is saying is it's all about embodiment. That's how she leads, through being present, through radiating, through the heart space. Okay, Anubis. I'm the guardian of thresholds, the keeper of integrity. I do not speak in riddles, I speak in clarity. Leadership without foundation is illusion. So you need to have a foundation in order to be an authentic leader. You cannot lead others into territory you have not crossed yourself. So what this is saying is that in order to be an authentic leader, you have to lead others through stuff that you have experienced yourself, not stuff that you haven't experienced, because then it's not embodied as well. Okay, leadership from the divine masculine is accountability. It is courage and action, structure without ego, boundaries that serve, not separate. The masculine leads by movement. So what this is saying is authentic leadership is actually made up of embodiment and movement. So yes, the masculine leads by movement, through choice, not chaos, through groundedness, not grasping, through protection, not possession. To lead like a guardian is to walk ahead, not above. So this is like being on your own path and keeping going, moving forwards, but realizing that you are not better than anyone else. You're not above anybody else. You're just on your own path. To be still when needed, to be fierce when called, to be loyal to truth, not popularity. So this is definitely about being in your truth, not doing shit just to try and be popular. It's about being authentic and real, not, because quite often people, in order to be popular, they'll kind of change who they are and not be themselves, right? But that is not in alignment with your soul or with your truth when you do that, is what Anubis is saying. He's like, dead on. Together we teach. Authentic leadership is the dance of sacred feminine and sacred masculine within you. Isis weaves the vision, Anubis anchors it into physical form. Isis opens the heart, Anubis holds the line. Isis births the message, Anubis delivers it with precision. Isis listens, Anubis decides. So if you were to replace Isis with divine feminine energy, your own divine feminine energy, and Anubis with your own divine masculine energy, it would be your feminine weaves the vision, your masculine anchors it in form. Your feminine opens the heart, your masculine holds the line. Your feminine bursts the message, your masculine delivers it with precision. Your feminine listens, your masculine decides. When you're balanced, you do not lead from wounding, you lead from wholeness, which is about what the Unicodes are all about. You don't lead from trauma. And there is one of my biggest icks, I think, in the spiritual community is seeing people that have not done inner work on themselves showing up and giving people guidance, and which includes them working on themselves when they're not actually doing it themselves. Like, that isn't authentic leadership. As Anubis said, you can't enter territory that you haven't crossed through yourself, right? You no longer seek to be followed, you seek to activate others into their own power. So this isn't about being popular, it isn't about getting loads of followers. It's about activating those into their own power, being on their own path, as I said before, right? It's to activate others. You're not here to be worshipped, you are here to be a portal, a guide, a reflection of what it means to walk in sovereignty and in service. Okay? And a lot of people, I think, tend to put some of us on a pedestal because they think that we know it all due to our spiritual gifts, when in fact that's not what we want, right? Because when they suddenly realize that we're human and we have flaws because we are human, right? And we have our own shadows, then, if you wanted people to worship you, then that's not, that's not what you're here for. Okay? You will crash and burn, I just heard. You're here to be a portal, a guide, a reflection of what it means to walk in sovereignty. Yeah, sovereignty and service through practice. So each day, ask yourself, what does my feminine know? And then, what does my masculine choose to do with that knowing? Trust your inner Isis to dream. Trust your inner Anubis to execute. Lead from love, which is held in integrity. This is the path of balanced leadership. This is the return of the sacred ruler, not by title, but by truth. So using balanced energy to step into authentic leadership is made up of embodiment and movement, which is actually equal to being truthful and honest. I heard be blunt with the truth, okay? Blunt. Because that's what people need right now. Blunt with your knowledge, blunt with your truth. I heard blunt. So be blunt with your truth, because that's actually what people need. In fact, someone else probably needs that right now. They need the bluntness. Okay? So I'm just going to finish there. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about that. Otherwise, you can share in the Facebook group or in our calls together. Right, so the next thing that we're going to be doing in my next video is we're going to do a guided meditation, which is like a confidence and embodiment activation. I'll see you there.